Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Today we are taking a look at the third release of Magic Square's MS-B54 Tornado. This is their third release of Vortex, the C version. This is the cartoon colors. It seems a bit overwhelming with all the different releases that the different versions of this set that they've released at this point. But by far, this third one is my favorite. A lot of people are going to be mad saying that this is what they should have released in the first place. I'm kind of tending to agree, but it is what it is. There's nothing any bit of complaining is going to do about it now. So that being said, quick look around the box. You've got the new gold trim, which we've seen with this set exclusively. Definitely, again, a shout out to the G1 art style with the grid pattern, purple, orange, yellow. Nice artist rendition of Vortex on the front. Side, not much. Back, you've got the silhouette and stats, as we've come to expect. And another artist rendition. And then Magic Square on the top. So, again, I wish they would put some product shots on the box like other competitors. Shout out to you, New Age, for doing that, but it's not a big deal. We're not here for boxes, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. As usual, we are going to start with accessories. Now, combiner accessories, he does come with the head and upper torso of Bruticus, done in gray. The toy version came, of course, in blue, but they're going for a cartoon accuracy with this one, which is nice. And we'll do a full comparison once we have all of them released and I'm able to form the combiner. We'll take a look at that. But done in gray plastic, you've got black plastic pieces added onto the side. Head does have that nice red. I don't feel it's as matte as the previous release, but we'll once again compare that in combine mode. But still has all the functionality as far as the articulation and so forth. I don't know what that is, but anyway, nicely done. Comes with a hand for Bruticus. This time we've got the darker blue and darker gray for the attachment point, but it does still have the same articulation. Hand does flip out. You've got full articulation on the fingers and thumb. Thumb is on a ball, so you can rotate it up and down with one joint. And then each finger does have a joint, as well as the ability to move in to form a fist. And, of course, rotation. So, hands have been nicely done, again, as we've seen in the past. He comes with two of his wrist blasters, which turn into side-mounted guns in the helicopter mode. This time done with a darker blue, gray paint, and black for the actual gun portion. Looks good. And this does attach exactly the same way on the arms. And he comes with his blaster. Again, this time done in the darker blue. Same detailing and sculpt, but this one actually does look good as far as the detail that's added on. You do still get the separation, a little bit loose for my liking, but it is there, allowing you to put this on the front in helicopter mode. As you can see, he does hold that blaster just fine. As far as the arm blasters, they do attach the same way. Mount the gun on the outside of the arm. This will pivot and peg in at the bottom, giving you 2 points of attachment, which is nice, makes it very secure. So let's take a look at Vortex. One important note is the blades do come non-attached in the box. They do fold up, and you just simply pop it in. I don't want to pull it out and pop it in just to prevent wear, but you'll need to pop it in there when you do get it. As far as the figure, I've always liked the way this is done. It's got its limitations. It's not perfect, but it is still an amazing bot. Looking at the face, you got a darker red for the eyes this time. The head is a bit of a disappointment because it does rotate you get the full 360, but it's a peg. It doesn't give you any back tilt or forward tilt, which is really disappointing because he does have an ab crunch. Just a pet peeve of mine. Again, darker red on the back of the head as well. Solid across the shoulders, I should say. Be careful because you can pop these out. They're held in place really securely, but it can happen. They do pop up for transformation, but just be aware. Arms are on ball pegs, so you get up to 90 degrees. You can do a full 360. You have rotation above the elbow. You do have a double jointed elbow, which gets you the full run. The arms are all done in gray plastic. You do have rotation. It's offset, so again, you do get that weird rotation where it swivels down and away from center. It's odd, but it's nice that it's there. You do have black paint on the engine, which does flip up and rotate for transformation. Not really necessary, but it's nice to see. Same on the other side. You do have full waist rotation. You've got some paint here. A little bit of the gray is painted, but you have the darker blue, which I really like, on the chest as well as on the front of the waist. Full rotation, a little bit loose for my liking, but still nice to see. He does have a very tight ab crunch. Once you do this a few times, it'll loosen up. Initially out of the box, you feel like you're going to break it, but it is there, and it does clamp into place. So nice and secure. For the legs this time, you do have the darker blue, and there's no hip skirt that moves out. The front hip skirt does go in with the leg movement, giving you a very high kick. As far as outward motion, you do still get more than 90 degrees, even though that hip skirt doesn't move, and per the norm with Magic Square, very limited back. Knees are interesting. They move back and forth for transformation, but it gives you a double jointed knee, giving you the ability to go as far as the sculpt will allow. If you move it back, I think you can get maybe a little bit more, but it's so minute, it's not really worth mentioning or trying. Black paint on the front of the legs. I feel like a large portion of the darker gray is painted, which is nice, but the majority of it is still just the Magic Square plastic. You've got some detail, but definitely some robot bits visible on the inside of the leg. Coming down to the feet, toes done in black plastic. You do get a surprising bit of articulation on the feet, since they are two pieces that join together, but you do get a full rocker, and you actually get a decent amount down. Nothing really up. Now you can, if you want to, unhook that and get a little bit of a toe up, which is nice, but it's not intended to do that, but you can. So definitely a lot of good posing options for this guy. I've always liked the bot. I thought that they did him extremely well on the first two releases. Nothing has changed from my opinion on this one. Really a fantastic version of Vortex. So let's bring in the original. This is the Toon version. Very similar to the IDW version. The only real difference is the color of the head, which is blue on the IDW version. But you can actually see very well the difference in the gray, which is darker. It looks really good. Eyes, you can see that there is the difference in the red. Again, darker on the C version. But the most obvious is definitely the blue for the legs and the accessories. To me, I definitely prefer the darker blue. This feels more of washed out blue. It's okay. I do like it, but this guy is going to get relegated to alt mode display, and this is going to be my new bot display. All the articulation and everything is the same. Even the blacks are the same. It's just the main difference is the darker gray, darker red, and the obviously darker blue. And here we have the C versions of the Combaticons released so far. The review for Night Tracer or Onslaught is coming soon, but this set's looking fantastic. Now, I'm not going to go through transformation. If you do need to know how to transform them, I believe I've done it both ways on my channel here, so check out this playlist. But looking fantastic. As far as the alt mode, I always have been a fan of this alt mode. Definitely cartoon accurate. This time, the darker gray does make it pop a little more, in my opinion. I do like the darker blue on the guns, the darker blue on the stripe, and the gun on the front. But overall, it's an entirely new color of gray, a little bit darker, and it looks good. View from the bottom, always been a bit of a robot showing through there, but I got a feeling, I feel like this leg connection works better on this version. I don't know, maybe I was doing something wrong the first time around, but it feels as though it connects and goes together better on this release. Again, might be completely wrong, but you do still have the turning rotors, which are done with gray and black paint. Same for the tail rotor, but you got the gray paint on the engines on the rear, gray paint for the windows. And overall, it feels like the entire thing has a coat of paint on it, to be honest. I might be wrong. It's hard to tell with Magic Square's materials. But it looks good with the black windshield. Coming around the side. Lots of nice detail there. There is some gaps, but at this point I think they did a marvelous job trying to hide them in panel lines. This is overall my favorite version of Vortex. When compared to the original, you can definitely see the difference in the color blue. And when next to each other, you can see the difference in the gray. Everything else is exactly the same. But you'll notice on the bottom, I've always had trouble keeping this joint together. It seems to go together a lot better on the new one. So overall, either one is still a fantastic option for Vortex. And here we have the 3 releases so far in this set. We're going to be taking a look at Onslaught soon, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm really enjoying the cartoon colors. Overall, the figure is amazing. The new coloration really adds to the cartoon aesthetic, which is what I go for as a collector. The paint is done well, the paint that's there. The articulation is phenomenal, and the only issue being the head. The combiner itself is amazing, and the exciting news is that they have announced the masterpiece version of these figures. So I've already pre-ordered 2 of their Brawl. I can't wait, especially to get them in compared to the Legend scale, and potentially sell my MMC and Zeta. So keep an eye out for those announcements. Overall, though, do I recommend this? If you've already got one, don't need to replace it, but if you don't, highly recommend it. I picked mine up from showzstore.com. Check them out. If you haven't already, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified of future content. And remember, we are doing the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, so sign up for that. Details in the description of that video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.